in Holland there's living 60.6 million people. 1 out of 5, so it's about 3.3 million people, is an ethnic minority. And half of those ethnic minorities were born in the Netherlands, so that's probably some of your children already, and are therefore defined as second generation ethnic minorities. 11% of those originate from a non-Western country, which is considered, West Africans are considered being non-Western country, but also people from Indonesia, or if you're from India, Jamaica, yeah. And 7% originate from Eastern Europe, which is also considered non-Western. And 9% of those ethnic minorities, of these 11%, originate from a Western country, which we not consider part of Europe. First question, are you sitting upright? Which percentage of young people between the age of 15 and 17 have sexual intercourse before they're 18? What would you guess? Mr. in the back with the green shirt on. How many young people between 15 and 17 do you think already have sex?
Which percent?
Which is it A, B, C, or D?
I think
Half of them, do you think half of them already had sex before they're 17?
Yeah.
Or just a quarter? What would you guess?
D.
51%.
51%.
Anybody say no?
No, I have to do it.
C, no? D. Is anybody saying A?
No.
Can you say A? C. C, 40. Okay, this is a slide which is talking about sexual experiences, the different sexual experiences. In the year 2005, I think government doesn't have money right now to do another survey. They usually do it every 5 years, but I think with the current economy, they don't have money to do the 2010 one. But you see here, it was C. In the age group between 15 and 17, if you say sexual intercourse, the total thing, so say 42%. But in the younger age group, it's also 7% already. And then what you see here is the average age that teenagers, so this is the whole group, is the children from 12 until 25 years old, so young people. If you see what the average age is, they experience sexual, they undergo sexual experiences, is for, well, the whole thing, 16.7 is the first. So, on average, children do it when they're 16.7 years old. Is that shocking or not? Because you said it's A. You said it's 22%.
I went for A because, going by the revolution with regard to information, the information age, we are in at the moment. That was why I was somehow, let me say, struck to hear or to have seen that the answer is 42%. Somehow I thought, the answer should have been, would have been, A. But yeah, that doesn't mean that I'm proven wrong. With that, I'm okay with it. So somehow with the information I get saying, oh, we are going gaga.
What is gaga?
Now, I have to disappoint you.
I'm disappointed, but very comfortable with it. That's all.
But I have to say that this is the Netherlands. So this is the whole of the Netherlands. This includes areas as Drenthe, where figures are different. If you would put the same figures for the Bijlmer, they would be higher. They haven't done them for West Africans, so that's why I didn't bring them. But if there would be a sector here of migrants, no, we don't even call them migrants anymore, but people that have fathers and mothers or grandfathers and mothers originating from Suriname of the Antilles,
will be higher. And we expect more or less the West Africans are more or less in between. So,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this research based on research at KNSA or at like all the hospitals and different sections where people also go to?
no, this is questionary-based research. So this is from the Rutgers-NISO. That's what Rutgers-NISO is a big institute in Holland that collects all kinds of data about sexual health, and they set out a questionnaire for children between 12 and 25. And they do it every 5 years. But I guess this guy thing is going lower that they didn't do it in 2010. So it's questionary-based. So they can also answer incorrectly because they don't have the data.
Okay, thank you.
And what's also maybe sometimes I will say some explicit things because what is shocking to me is that this is going on so high. And that's really a thing of I think the last 5 years, which some role models are not so good in, like Mr. Ruud who pronounced in a football magazine that was the best thing to do, and that's. I think he doesn't realize how much influence that has being a role model. And I'm not saying you should never do that, but for youngsters, you should, as a football player, you should really look out what you say. The role of ethnicity in STIs, the sexual transmitted diseases, pregnancy and abortion from teenagers, so again the same age group, 12 to 25. This we don't, like I said, we don't have any figures about West Africans yet. But you see that there is an influence of ethnicities on those figures. So this is a Dutch slide, so I didn't have time to change it all into English, but this is STI, this is pregnancy, and this is abortion. And then you see that there is a difference, especially people descending from the Antilles are high in the figures. And another slide showing the connections between ethnicity and sexual intercourse. You also see that there's big differences. There, the teenagers from Morocco and Turkey are taking these two. And then you see that again the people from the Antilles, the girls, are higher in the numbers, but with the boys not taking the Turkish and the Suriname boys in two, they're getting up higher too. But this is the Suriname, it's a bit difficult because the screens are almost the same. This is Turkish.
Turkish is 40% and Spanish is 50%.
Okay, what I said, I'm going to go over all these subjects that we as doctors consider important ingredients in staying sexual healthy. I take these two together. That's a bit tricky because sex out of free will is considered if you violate that, you're considered to be a criminal. And knowing what you do and don't want regarding sex is not a criminal act. But there's how do you say it in thin barrier between those two, and that's why I take them together. If I say anything that you don't understand or because my English is not perfect. First statement, my statement. You can disagree with it. More females are victims of sexual violence. Is that a lie? Who says that's a lie? No?
I think it's a lie. Men don't talk about it, but they also think so.
So you don't agree with it. You say males are as much a victim of sexual violence as oh, mine has to be again. You think it's unreported?
It's going to be going viral online and notification. When the voice is not clear,
Yes, it's true. No, thank you for the correction. We can go on.
You say, I think men underreport. If they are questioned, they're too ashamed to tell.
I'm agree with that. Yes, because in my pastoral counseling, I find out men in my counseling and I've seen what happened with them. And they were able, maybe because I have a gift of a mother heart, and it came through that some of these young men and even older men could speak openly with me about it. And we could pray about it, but it has infected them very bad. Very bad. What women can do against men. So they are also, they can be also victim of, just like the lady there said, many men, for instance, we Afro men, they are ashamed to talk openly about themselves. You see? And since it comes because of sexual abuse or violence, and it is so hard for them to explain it to themselves. And because many of them are not raised by men, by fathers, so that they are being raised by women. One of the men that has a big effect in his life is like he's not able to open himself for the healing. It was his own auntie has raped him, and he was a young guy. Yeah, that is an open.
So there's actually, I think, 2 taboos for men. They under-report because they're ashamed to report that as a man they've been victimized. And another thing is because you're not talking about men being violated by women, but there's, in the reports, there's more men violated by other men, fathers. And that's catching, of course, another taboo, because then you don't only have to say as a man, I'm violated, but you also have to say I'm violated by a man, which is also